a few moments ago. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Hey, wahoo! Check back 21.
On first down, Darnold. It's brought in by Harris. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10.
That's the way. Hey, exit.
Darnold from the gun. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 35-yard line. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And Thomas has it. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They come up first and 10 at the 16. And he finds Parker here, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Here's Darnold. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Check, ready. 10, touchdown. That's track. Choose it. 24 is the mic. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. 24 is the mic.
On 3rd down, Brissett. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Darnold. He gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Devontae Parker, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script.
He's got daylight, the 40, and he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 43 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
At the Saints' 34-yard line.
Tight guard, tight guard, tight guard.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And this is caught off the deflection. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Darnold, that's caught. It's Thomas. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
With the score, Saints 14, Eagles nothing.
52. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Slam, slam. Yo, 80. Watch it. Hey, 80. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Like that.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jennings was the one he was looking for. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reaction to those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
39 yards there, a big one. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Brissett. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw is Brissett. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Give him 2 on the run. They need a lot more than that coming up here on 3rd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. He gets it complete to Harris. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Let's go.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Hey, Delta. Switch it. Check 3.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Gary Jennings, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. As Sanders has it poked free. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Kamara. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Darnold on 3rd down. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Devontae Parker, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And all the way down to the 26. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line.
Here's Sanders. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Now Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, orbit.
Darnold now to throw. Finding Harris over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Gary Jennings, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
24 is the mic. Tackles.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Brissett. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's go, D.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Now this is caught by Jackson. A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A.J. Boye up to make the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Another run with Sanders, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
4 down, check, 4 down. Ball tried. 24 is the mic. Don't get nervous.
Here's Brissett. And he connects with Ertz. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
24 is the mic. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Flush to his right. And able to find Kirk complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 39. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Brissett now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Sanders. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get the drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
I am what? Better QB play.